Hey people, D-Man here, and today I am reviewing the Netflix original series, All of Us Are Dead. This is a live-action zombie series, and I'll try to do spoiler-free than spoilers. So, spoiler-free, this is, I think, uh, Korean? Something like that? Korean, yeah. Kind of like a Train to Busan. I think that's what it's called. Definitely similar type zombies. Um, the zombies are pretty cool nonetheless, to be honest. Um, let's see what to say about this show. Well, it kind of reminds me of like just a zombie movie, I guess. It kind of reminds me of that one anime movie where they're not anime movie, anime show that they never finished. And I don't think the manga ever got finished because the guy who was writing it passed away. High School of the Dead or something like that. Where there were zombies and they were in a high school because they're in a high school in this. And that's all the spoilers you're gonna get. They're in a high school. Although if you see the trailers, you'd know they're in a high school. Anyways, let's see. The voice, I mean, not voice acting, the acting was pretty good. The. There's some weird parts here and there in the show. There's definitely some dumb parts as well. Like, the main antagonist was pretty stupid. I'll be honest, he was pretty stupid. Um, and he kind of got annoying at the end. Uh, just things like that were kind of annoying though. Just little things. But all in all, I did enjoy it. It was a little bit slow on some parts, where I wish it would have sped up a little bit. Um, but yeah, all in all, I did enjoy it. It wasn't horrible. It was okay. It was okay. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. That's all I can say. It was pretty good. And yeah, that's all I can really say. Without spoiling it. So let's go into spoilers.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, share this video, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
Okay, spoiler alert. Okay, so basically this starts off in high school, and the high school science teacher made a zombie virus to make his son strong for whatever reason, because his son was getting bullied by these assholes that bullied people, and then um, they just bullied people, and they were just assholes. So his son was getting bullied, so he made this zombie virus. Somebody tried to tattle on these bullies, so they basically took them, ripped off the girl's clothes, and made the guy film it. I don't think they did anything else other than that. But then they threatened to post it online, and of course, the girl's devastated at that. Sorry about that. Even though technically, that is, children something, as you know, very bad and very illegal. So, can't be showing that thing, and that bully and those bullies could have gotten in real lots of trouble. At least, here in like Canada, I guess, and like the States and stuff. I don't know about Korea, so I don't know about their laws. I'm just assuming they have similar laws. But yeah, so that's fucked up. So these bullies are just a nuisance. And the science teacher is kind of just a nuisance as well. So so a girl goes into the science teacher's lab, gets bitten by one of the lab rats, gets infected, breaks out of the science teacher's lab eventually. No, eventually she gets found. No, she breaks out, then she gets found. She goes to the nurse's office. Uh, she's very sick, and she bites the nurse, and then the ambulance come and take her away. But the nurse never shows them her bite. Like, that was one of the stupid parts. Like, the nurse was bit, and she was obviously feeling ill from the bite. But she never thought like, oh, here's my bite. Like, can you fix this up for me? She's a nurse. So why wouldn't she show them? Is she afraid of the doctors or something? Even though she is one? Like, what? It's kind of stupid, but whatever. And then somehow the nurse and the girl that was already infected, somehow these two create a pandemic across the city. The nurse in the school, the girl in the city as a whole. It's kind of fucking ridiculous, to be honest. Like, how can two people do that? I don't know. People are stupid, I guess. People get bit and then they just spread it around. Uh, I don't know. My first thought would be zombies, but whatever. So the nurse is like convulsing and stuff, and the students, instead of helping her, start filming her, which is kind of realistic because that would probably happen in real life. And then she bites somebody, and that's it. And then they go ballistic, and most of the bullies get killed, which is a good thing because they're all assholes. And then we meet like a classroom full of our protagonists, I guess, like multiple protagonists. And it's just this classroom full of kids, and they have to survive. And one of the kids is definitely like the worst girl ever. And eventually, a kid gets bit. No, a kid gets scratched, and he's like, "I'm not infected," but the girl infected him because she's so much of a bitch. Like, she was a crazy bitch that just wanted to prove she was right. And she was like rich and just a rich bitch, you know, a rich bitch. Rich fucked up bitch. Um so that happens. Of course the cops' phone lines are going haywire at this moment. And they're going all around the city, and there's a giant pandemic, and then obviously the government gets called in. Martial law gets set upon the city. There's a politician lady who is there, but she gets saved, and eventually she's kind of an asshole, to be honest, because she's kind of trying to use this to her advantage in the polls. But then at the end, she does find it despicable what they do, so I guess she does have a little bit of humanity in her. But yeah, a lot of like politicians being politicians, just a bunch of fucking assholes, doing scumbaggy shit. But in the school, we have our main kids. They're just there surviving, and one of the bullies is also surviving because he is killing people with a knife. So they're there surviving. The girl kills one of the kids. She runs off. The teacher runs after her because reasons. That was one of the stupid parts too. I don't really understand why she ran after him, but whatever. The girl eventually goes to her room. The teacher gets bitten, and the girl has a bunch of food and stuff. The kids eventually go to that same room, but the girl locks herself in the closet so they don't know she's there. And she never comes out. She never comes out to help them with food and stuff because it's been like 2 days. They're starving. They're dying of dehydration. And she never comes out to help them. And then when she finally decides to help him, the bad kid... Well, first let's talk about the bad kid. I can't really talk about that part. So the bad kid, the bad guy of the story, he's the main villain of the story, other than the zombies. He basically kills the principal. One of our main characters film him, and then he runs after this main character trying to get the phone back. And the phone kind of becomes irrelevant after a while. We kind of just never see it again. It's kind of stupid. Another one of those stupid things. And he gets into a fight with our main character. At least I think that's what happens. Maybe the phone got dropped somewhere. I'm not sure. But anyways, he gets into a fight with our main character, and he's like, "Give me that fucking phone," sort of thing. Like, "I'm gonna kill you," and he definitely tries to kill him. And then the main character smacks him in the face with the phone in the eyeball, and somehow, this is a stupid part. Somehow the phone makes a scar on his eye and gouges out his eye, like cuts out his eye. Makes absolutely no sense, but I guess that phone had a blade in it or something. I don't know, but whatever. Blade phone. He hits him in the eye, pushes him off into the zombies, killing him in the process, seemingly. Then runs back, runs off to hide from the zombies. Eventually meets up with his classroom, and they ask what happened. One of the girls get bit by this villain because the villain comes back to life, not as a zombie, but as a half zombie, half human, a new hybrid. And this hybrid has like human intelligence, but with superhuman abilities, even more so than the zombies, it seems. So that's something that this virus can do to you if you're lucky. And the zombies don't attack you as well. So if you're lucky, you'll get superhuman abilities. Um, so this guy's still going after the other guy for gouging out his eye. Gets into a fight with some of the kids. The kids, these two other kids eventually win, throw him out the window. He gets up and heals himself because that's just what he can do because he's a zombie. The one girl that he bites almost turns into a zombie, but kind of turns into the same thing. He is a half zombie hybrid with superpowers, with superhuman powers, I guess, superhuman strength and stuff. And the whole time they're kind of like asking this guy, like, "What the hell did you do to this guy? Like, why the fuck is he after you?" He's just like, "Listen, like, we just got into a fight. That's it, man. I recorded him. That's why he's after me." It's like, no, you literally tried to kill him. That's what. Like, he's after you for the recording, but he's also after you because you literally tried to kill him. But whatever, I guess it's he's feeling guilt obviously, so he doesn't want to tell anybody. Um, Eventually, our main characters are talking, and some discussions about love happen. One of our characters confesses their love, and there's some love drama in this, by the way. And there's some character deaths in this that were pretty cool. Some more sad than others, obviously. But yeah, there's some love drama in this and some other stuff. Not really my cup of tea because they're a bunch of teenagers and I really could give a shit less about their love stories, but it's still pretty good nonetheless. Um, and then they go to the roof, try to get saved. The rescue chopper basically tells them, well, it's not a rescue chopper. It's there to get the laptop from the scientists. But it basically tells them, like, hey, we can't save you because, fuck you guys. But in reality, it's because they found out that there's half human zombies. And this is one of the stupid parts, by the way. Okay, so there's two stupid parts about the half human zombies. The first part is the girl's a half human zombie, and yet they never use that to her advantage because she doesn't get sniffed out by zombies or bitten. I guess they didn't really find that. She didn't really find that out until a little bit later, but that's beside the point, I guess. Well, at least in my head, that's beside the point. But in my head, they could have used her to a better extent. Like she could have gotten a weapon and stabbed people and stabbed all the zombies, so the people could go by because because the zombies can't sense her. But that never happens. But again, I guess like she only realizes this later, so maybe that's the reason why, I guess. But it would have been cool to see if she realized it sooner and they would have used her as a weapon because it would have been much easier. Although she might not want to kill the zombies. Who knows? Um, that's one of the stupid things about the zombies. uh, I forgot the other one. Jesus, I said there was two stupid things about the zombie hybrids, but I definitely forgot the other one. Jeez, my bad. Anyways, moving on. If I remember it, I'll tell you. Anyways, moving on. Our characters escape finally. They meet up with these other characters that we were kind of watching at the same time. And there's also other characters in this story. There's like a cop who finds a baby and a child and a dude that's kind of a douchebag who's trying to escape, and then another dude who's a YouTuber who went into the city to YouTube and then got lost and got stuck there. They eventually escape and go to quarantine. There's the story about her father, one of the students' father trying to get to her, eventually succeeding and dying in the process. Sad, very sad ending there. Our main characters eventually escape the roof and escape the school in a thunderstorm because zombies have super hearing and they don't really like the thunderstorm. So they escape. They escape to the gymnasium, I guess. There's a bunch of zombies there, so they have to hide. They get split up. Two more people die. One of the people from the main villain, the other one from zombies, because she was kind of a dick, anyways. At least at the end there, she was a dick. For a bit, she was getting better, but then she turned into a dick at the end. And they had to stay there. Then they tried to escape, and they did manage to escape, but one of them got sacrificed again. And then they ran off, and this is where his father got sacrificed. And then they ran off to a building filled with zombies, and they were just kind of stuck there for a while. And that's where it kind of stays for a while. And it's just kind of lingering there until the main bad guy comes, fights the guy that he wants to fight, and bites him, and then they run away. And then he runs back in there because he's bitten by a zombie, so he's going to die anyways. Rallies up all the zombies. Everybody else escapes. All the zombies die. And the main bad guy and him have an epic fight. And at the end, it explodes. He dies with the main bad guy. Never comes back. I was surprised about that. I was very surprised about that. Because they had to explode all the zombies. And that's the whole thing. And the whole time there's like this scientific research and stuff like that about the zombies and the zombie virus. And at the end they had to destroy it all. The guy that did it, even though he was basically like urged to do it by the higher ups, but he did it himself, so he took full responsibility of blowing up the city. Even though his higher ups were kind of ones that did it, but whatever, I guess. He took responsibility. He killed himself. And then we just kind of move on from there to the end of the story where the rest of the zombies were mowed down. The people were vaccinated. Well, the people were in quarantine for a bit, and then they got released eventually. We don't know what happens after that because there's not a second season. But there might be a second season because they leave a little bit of a cliffhanger there because our girl that turned into a half zombie, she ran away because she almost ate them, because turning into a half zombie has the benefit of giving you superhuman powers, but also has the negative of making you want to eat humans. But you can also eat animals because one of the people that turned into a half zombie ate animals, so that's a thing. And then she says, like, oh, I found a bunch of people like me, and we're just kind of going to live and see what happens. So that's kind of a cliffhanger going like, ooh, maybe something will happen with them, and we'll see. And something might happen with this virus again, and we'll see. And that's where it ends. Now, there's a few problems I have with this show. First off, there were some pacing issues here and there. Like the first episode was pretty slow. Some episodes had some slow parts in there. So that was a thing. The zombie virus itself, pretty cool, but I really doubt the government after realizing what it is, after recreating stuff, and after realizing that there's superhuman hybrids, that they wouldn't use it as a weapon or try to make superhuman soldiers out of it. Because that's what any government would do. I'm just saying, any government would definitely do that with this virus. but it never happens. But if there is a season 2, maybe that will be the case because they'll be like, oh, the government never threw it away. They actually used it to create some kind of weapon, and it went wrong. Because that would definitely happen in reality, at least. So that's a little bit dumb to me that they never showed that, but maybe they'll show it in the second season if there is one. The main antagonist, the reason why he was getting on my nerves is just because the amount of times he was thrown off a building. I guess that was kind of like a running gag that every time they fought, he was thrown off a building over and over again, hitting his head, getting back up, regrowing himself. Just fighting our protagonist, and just trying to kill one guy, and in the process killing a bunch of other people, and he just kind of got on my nerves at the end. But there was an epic fight with him, so I guess I can forgive it a little bit. Other than that, uh, nothing really too bad. But definitely some stupid parts in there. Like at one part, they realize zombies listen to a certain frequency, and the half zombies can't stand that frequency, so they kind of curl in pain. And instead of like exploiting that to use on the people that have in quarantine to see if they're half zombies, they just use it for one strategy, which is kind of stupid. Like, if you know half zombies that have a bad reaction to that, why not use that? But whatever, I guess. Kind of stupid. So yeah, stuff like that happens. That was kind of stupid, but all in all, it was still pretty good. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell notification. It's the best way to keep my channel. Link down below to my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace.
Just remind you to subscribe, hit that bell, like, comment, and share this video. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok down below.
Shadow, my baby, I love you so much. You're my baby. And you love to sleep in the bathtub. 'Cause you're a weirdo. Shadow, look over here, buddy. Look over here.